reaction video. We got Kanye West taking on the Alchemist. 1,000 hits, 1,000 Grammys. Everybody know Alchemist. Been putting it down for years. Two dope producers, both using the same beat. Let's check out the video.
Two legendary producers. But what happened when both flipped the exact same sample? Well, today we're putting their beats side by side to see who came out on top. You're about to see a side of their genius that's never been shown before. So let's settle this once and for all.
I'm more of a Ye fan myself, I ain't gonna hold you. I rocks with Ye. Even though I rocks with Ye though.
Let's find out who sampled it better.
The Alchemist, he take you to a dark place sometimes. I don't know if I want to go to that place.
These producers made beats using the exact same sample, the different sampling techniques they used, and even some ideas that you can use for your own beats. So let's start by looking at the sample itself. This is a soul sample from the 70s that the Alchemist and Kanye both used in very different ways. First we'll look at Kanye's beat. He used this sample way back in 2003 before his own albums were out, and he was still coming up as a producer, making beats for other artists. The beat that he made using this sample was for Alicia Keys on You Don't Know My Name.
Damn, so he's saying this was before the Through the Wire? Yeah, had to be. You say this? That's crazy. If you would have asked, I would have bet money that Through the Wire was already out when this came out. But what do I know?
And beyond just making the beat, even some of the concepts and the songwriting were actually Kanye's ideas.
And I remember we were in the studio, like, you know what you need to do? You just talk, like how they used to do on old records, just talk.
Let's take a look at how Kanye made the actual beat. Looking at the sample, there are many usable pieces, but it's this section here that, even for me, feels like the standout section of the entirety of the sample. That cascading piano idea just sounds beautiful, and this is the section that Kanye decides to build the entire beat around. Now, at the time of making this beat, the technique of pitch...
Now, I wonder who made theirs first. Did Ye make his first? Or did Alchemist make his first? Because I can guarantee you, the other person heard the other one before they did that sample. I can guarantee you that.
Pitched up vocal chops and your beat was...
Especially the way these guys dig in the crates. They really pride themselves on finding old school songs nobody ever heard, shit that you never thought. They take pride in that.
Popular, partly due to Kanye himself, and that's exactly what he does with this sample. He begins by pitching it up 2 semitones and speeding it up. Now, what's interesting about this sample is that it has somewhat identical pieces within it. Let me show you what I mean. We have this area of the sample here, and we have this here.
I love it. I love this shit right here when they break down the samples, do the waveforms. Shout out to LL, Salute the Sample. They got a couple YouTube channels too that just go through and show you where old songs, where they sample from on the old shit,
Now, for the most part, these sound identical, but there is a difference. If you pay really close attention, you can hear there's a thin layer of strings in one part of the sample and not the other. You can hear with the strings, without the strings, with the strings, without the strings. And it's the part of the sample with strings that Kanye uses for his beat.
Some nameless, others with stars and straps ain't famous, steel that ain't stainless, high haters.
The beat has more of a straightforward sampling approach here. In the beginning of the sample, we have this long phrase. And this is what the Alchemist uses for his beat. Similar to Kanye, this sample gets pitched up 2 semitones, and for the most part the chops get used in a simple and straightforward way to build the base of the beat. For loop number 1, the chops go 1, 2, 3, 2. Then after this loop, the entire section of the sample just gets played.
Okay, so it's the same song. It's just not the same exact chop sample. They didn't sample the same section, basically. They both use the same song, but different sections.
From front to end.
That's dope. That's dope right there.
Now, as you can hear, this idea still does feel a bit bare, like some more layers could be added in, and so that is what the Alchemist does. We have a crash and I believe a vibra slap combined together to start the loop. Then we have this Ruby Andrews vocal sample that comes in, as well as this delayed guitar. This is another layer that shows up. Plus,
so Alchemist used a bunch of different samples. He didn't just sample that one song. So you had to factor that into your decision. Well, I guess you do. Maybe you don't, you know. They call that layering samples. You didn't just get the sample from one song and just run with it. You got a sample from here. You got a snare from this song. You got a drum kit from that song, you know. You got the horns from another song. And you basically put it together like a jigsaw puzzle. Come up with a masterpiece.
A few other small ideas and samples that...
That's the old school way of doing things, you know. People nowadays sample stuff. They kind of got a little... I mean, they don't work as hard at it as they used to. You know, it really took the most time spent making a beat used to be research. Just researching old stuff.
Only the Alchemist knows where they came from. As you can see, it's a classic Alchemist collage approach to beat making, where he builds a little bit more of a simplified idea with his sample, but then layers his own ideas and musical phrases to build something that feels much more complete. And that's basically how the Alchemist made his beat. Now, before you decide which producer sampled it better, how about I possibly make a fool of myself and also go against these two titans? Let me try to build a beat using this exact same sample, and let's see if I can defeat them. I really like that part of the sample that the Alchemist used. I'm a sucker for string samples.
We don't really want to see that. Okay, let's go to the end. Let's see what he came up with.
Then from here, I'm going to add some drums in and some smaller details. And like I mentioned, for the hook, this is when I'm going to bring in that second layer of the sample back. So comment down below whose beat is...
Not my cup of tea, you know. I salute him for trying. It's all good, but it might be a little New York for me, a little New York underground. But what do you guys think? Who you think sampled it better? Kanye West? Or was it the Alchemist? Who you think? You know, they used the same sample. Leave your comments down below. Let us know who you think did it better. I think I got an idea who everybody's gonna go with, you know. But until next time, we'll see you. Peace.